ever whole with her body half in the water. The damp shore made a perfect mattress for her crooked spine. She sank into the putty and waited for the salt tide to arrive with dawn birds. The first cold kiss to her ankles shivered up through the uneven discs of her back until, wet up to her knees, she felt a blanket forming. Aligned with the moon, she coaxed the water higher, past thighs and the ridges of hips into the concave bowl of her torso, and when filled, flooded around breasts in grip of her neck. She was only ever whole with her lips on the salt tide, the sea the only other body she'd float with in perfect agreement. In the shallows of morning she let the new waves explore her like new land, playfully drag her out a little further as she ran her hands through the watery hills. Aligned with the moon, she held onto it like a kite string, and drifted with the salt tide and the sound of dawn birds to the centre of any ocean that would make its home for her. She was only ever whole, travelling the roads of the current, determined by depth contours and a looming monsoon. She bobbed along the surface of the Indian with trade winds, until her girl's compass whirred on the map of veins of palm to settle on the oceanic graveyard. Positioned comparatively in heaven, she graced the aqueous skies of the sorrowful, those long-past men who searched for the world's edge only to find their own oblivion, who, deceased, lay naked in their bones, shifting sails in the waterbed to direct their corporeal angel home. But her soul, having been on shore too long and once more in her corkscrew body, had grown unfamiliar to their cries, and so immune, she remained above them, a bobbing buoy. The only sounds she met with through her days of journeying were not of ghosts or of the undead, their souls she merely reflected, but the squawks of circling seabirds, the other map. She was only ever whole under the lashing of black-blue night, the strange, clear air purified, and after a week of moonbathing she took on a spectral opalescence, and after another, her toes and fingers tingled with the coming of land, her half-home drawing close with local sea streets she only half wanted to travel. The sea grew warm, and the sun gave back her colour, skin a more land-worthy brown, and at arrival she found in the shallows her legs that had not been for her memory at all useful. The afternoon tide helped her tired muscles make way through the fences of seaweed and jellyflesh to a solitary and rocky beach, her crooked back aiming her like an ampersand to the dissipating moon, though still visible through azure, and she rested, lay down her spine, and waited for the night. Aligned always with her mother, she dreamt of the souls she did not meet, the dead. This was part of a monologue, it's just the start of it. When I imagine the end of the world, there's the ghosts of all the whales we killed like zeppelins in the sky. Hundreds of thousands of them, bigger than clouds, huge and dark blue and corporeal. The sun is completely shut out. There is no light coming through the surging orgy of flesh and sonar cries, fins slapping against rolling underbellies and humpbacks, moaning, mourning the deaths of their babies, their mothers and fathers who died with harpoon thorns in their hearts and were dragged for their hide onto devil boats with demons and hell children to cut away the skin and blubber while still alive. They remember this. They remember the shape of those abusers and look down from the heavens and see us in our guilty billions of billions like ants so easy to step on, building our cities and our pollution factories and our wharfs where we launch all kind of destruction into the water. From their great height in the sky they take on the appearance of gods, vengeful as the Old Testament, blinded by fury and grief. And the human eyes on the ground grow wide with the realization that it's come full circle, and suddenly faith has gone completely vertical. How are we to get to heaven with these monsters in the way? With these beautiful angels that we massacred, how will I be saved? I didn't do it. I didn't kill anyone. I'm not a monster. I'm sorry this happened. It was them. We told them it was wrong. We tried to stop them, but we didn't try hard enough. We didn't try. And now we've got hell to pay. And there are all the whales we killed, like zeppelins in the sky, waiting to drop their bombs. In 200 years, over 1 million humpbacks were slaughtered. So imagine 1 million of these huge bodies, 14 metres long, 36 tonnes apiece, descending from our skies, and they're pissed off. We killed their mothers and we ignored their screams, and we have the audacity to claim a right to a life that doesn't involve responsibility for pain, for Nazi-like genetic obliteration of a most beautiful species whose weight and size far outweigh our own, so that we are cunning, which is nothing of an achievement, for their death was no sacrifice, and Christ is not reaching for their salvation, nor will he, Holy Father, take pity on the souls who sanction such genocide. And so now I'm imagining the end of the world, and there's all the ghosts of the whales that we killed, like zeppelins in the sky. And I'm not sure that I fear the Armageddon, North Korea, or even fucking swine flu for more than what I fear what people have done, and will surely do again.